Welcome to the Baller Boys podcast. They're all about sports, and more sports. And now, the Baller Boys, Mark and Shemaiah.
Hello, and welcome back to the Baller Boys podcast. It's your boy, Mark, but I cannot do this alone. I am joined by the SOTB, the music man with the plan, Shemaiah.
Yep, that's me.
That is him. You heard the voice. I can't replicate that. That is his voice. He is the guy with the voice. And remember that, y'all. If y'all are new to this, we are the Baller Boys. We talk about sports, and more sports. And you could find us all over the place. You can find us on Apple Podcasts. We're on YouTube. We're in the sky. We're in the air. We're in the water. And we are all over the place. Type in Baller Boys Podcast and you will find our episodes. We release multiple episodes weekly. That's right. So don't think you watched one or listened to one and say that you're done, because you're not. You're probably missing another one. So that's right. Go check it out. Baller Boys Podcast. We got a special episode today. NBA playoffs are pretty hot right now. And we talk about that. Go check out our previous episode, actually, by the way, if you want to check out some NBA action. But we cannot forget another big sport around, and that is the NFL. And yes, we had an episode where we talked about way too early Super Bowl predictions. By the way, go check out that episode. It's pretty good. But today we're going to talk about wild card teams. That's right. Each of us was tasked with picking a wild card team that no one really saw coming, who can just sneak into the Super Bowl. Doesn't mean they actually have to win the darn game, but they have to sneak in there. And I have a feeling, because we didn't discuss this beforehand, so I don't know what his team is. Actually, he knows what my team is, but I don't know what his team is. And Shemaiah is the wild card, no pun intended. So I am excited to hear what he chose as his wild card team. But with that being said, actually, Shemaiah, I'm curious to hear who you picked. So, man, why don't you open the curtains and reveal?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really confident in my pick, but the one that I chose was the Vikings. Mainly because, the reason why I chose them is they're NFC North. We know that Saints NFC South was on the wild card last year. And if you look at the Vikings and the Saints, they're pretty similar. Saints had one game more than the Vikings. So if you look at how the Vikings embarrassed my Detroit Lions with that epic field goal. That'll be the funny joke of why I'm picking them. But I'm picking them because I think that'll probably be the one that makes most sense compared to the fact that their but their winning and losses was very close and similar to the Saints. But also because the fact that I think the Vikings are going to be something to watch for this upcoming season. And number one, Detroit Lions, better hope and pray they don't kick any field goals. But number two, when you look at the NFL, everybody has a chance starting week one. And as the weeks goes by, you notice who's serious and who's just like, I'm just getting my paycheck. You know what I mean? Like, who's very serious, want to get the actual trophy versus the one. I'm not saying anyone has the attitude like they don't care about winning, but you kind of see whose elite mindset and commitment to win is. And I think Vikings has a chance to do some special things with the season that's coming up. So that's my wild pick. That's my wild card pick. They have some rushers, Smith, Hunter, and I think people wouldn't be mad at my pick for the Vikings because they did do some good things last year. But if I had to go with someone that made sense and felt right, it'll definitely be the Vikings.
Yeah, I like that pick quite a bit because I actually have them winning that division. I mean, I could be biting myself on that because the Packers could end up winning that division again. But the Packers, they traded Adams. The whole drama going on with the organization there, and I think the Vikings are looking to bounce back. They have always been kind of in the middle. Just that team that has the talent, especially on offense. They've got a lot of good offensive pieces, but they just haven't been able to stay consistent and hot with the pieces that they do have. Quick question: do you think, since Kirk Cousins has 1 year he has a 1 year deal right now, and he's playing for like $35 million, I think, and do you think that's going to help motivate him to play better and to really kind of like up the overall play of his offense?
Well, I mean, it's a good thing you mentioned Kirk Cousins because he actually did really good last year. He will have an opportunity to have a breakthrough season, in my opinion. And what I mean by that is, if he wants to be that quarterback elite status, then he has to really go crazy. He has to really get his guys motivated, because when you can trust your guys and you guys trust you, that's when the magic happens as far as, highlights, touchdowns, positive yards, so forth and so forth. Kirk Cousins, this is his year to basically have the opportunity to prove himself as a leader. But also he's been with the Vikings since 2018, and let's just say he hasn't done terrible. But if he wants to go to that next level when they can actually talk about maybe, make a run for the Super Bowl. I mean, it ain't going to be easy, but it can definitely be doable if he just shocks everybody and just commands the locker room and commands, respect from, the opposing team. Kirk Cousins is a great quarterback, I mean, if you look at his yards, they're impressive. When you look at his completion percentage, it's impressive. But he has some interception issues. He had 7 interceptions last year. He had 13 interceptions in 2020. So he has to really lock in on his players. And I think you can build that trust factor. Let's just say I think the Vikings can do something that can make their fans really excited and make Detroit cry.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. And I mean, a lot of teams, unfortunately, in the NFL can make the Detroit Lions cry. But
unfortunately, yeah, just about everyone.
Unfortunately, just about everyone. Who can't? Just curious.
Well, the coach. I was going to say the coach.
There you go. That's true. I mean, the Chicken Shack, man. They never get tired of the Chicken Shack, But yeah, to your oh my gosh. But to your point, man, Vikings, new head coach, guy comes in, Kevin O'Connell from the Rams coming in, looking for something to prove. Kirk Cousins playing on a 1 year deal, looking to prove to the rest of the NFL that he's still like a top 15 quarterback. I saw something the other day about on Twitter about people questioning if he's a top 10 quarterback or not. So I think Cap Kirk is going to want to go out there and ball out and show, his teammates that he is looking to take his game to the next level, take care of the ball.
Jefferson, wide receiver.
Yes.
If they can have a special bond, not to say they never did, but I'm just saying, because think about it. When it's summertime and, everyone's trying to piece all the crazy pieces to the puzzle to how can we get to the Super Bowl, map, you got to think that's what these teammates are doing, right? They're not just eating Krispy Kremes let's just get our millions, we don't want to win. Let's just get our millions. No, I think, a teammate like Justin Jefferson, like he would be someone that you really want to light up because he had a good year last year. He had 10 touchdowns. He had been with the Vikings since 2020. Mm-hmm. So he's not a stranger. Like he knows the system for the organization, and he knows what they are expecting of him as a talent. And, I think he's the one that I feel will give Kirk that spark because face it, man, to win games, you got to get touchdowns, period. You don't get touchdowns, you're screwed. You got to get points on the board. You got to, look at what Matt did with LA Rams.
Yep.
It was the right time and the right part of the season when he started to click. And Kirk Cousins can do that with like a Justin Jefferson. Then I could see the Vikings doing way better than last year, but edging out to the race of the wild card.
Yeah. And I think it really helps them that they're in the NFC because the AFC right now is just stacked.
It's stacked. That's why they pick no one in the AFC. I'm like, all right, who can I pick? No one.
You can't pick anyone in the AFC.
I could, but I'll probably be wrong.
Yeah, we went the easy the easy way route, right?
I was trying very hard not to sound stupid tonight.
No, well, y'all. Well, you guys, we kind of cheated. We went with the NFC. No, I'm just kidding. Shemaiah, that was actually a really good pick though, because I could definitely see the Vikings. I think the Vikings are going to win the division next season, so I've got high hopes for them. They got a good coach who's looking to prove himself as a head coach. You got Kirk looking to prove himself as a valuable asset, whether it's in Minnesota or with a different team. You got, like you just said, Justin Jefferson, one of the best receivers in the league. You still got Adam Thielen there. You got Dalvin Cook, who's still one of the best running backs in the league.
And he was also first round pick in 2020 NFL draft, Jefferson.
Yes, he was. Yeah, he was a stud as a rookie too. You talk about making a point, like right when you enter the league.
You better be, man, coming from LSU.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, another guy from LSU just won a Super Bowl. Odell. Yep. But who knows where Odell's going to end up? But we'll find out maybe we'll talk about that later. But yeah, Vikings, got high hopes for them, man. Great pick because I definitely think they're going to make the playoffs.
Trust me, I was trying to pick a team where I could sound semi-intelligent tonight.
Nah, man, you did really well because I actually, I'm kind of mad that I didn't pick the Vikings, but we did both, however, pick an NFC team. So yes, everyone, we cheated. We didn't go with an AFC. No, just kidding. No, we are both good. My NFC wild card pick is the New Orleans Saints. Or I'm sorry, I didn't say that right. Nolans Saints. There we go. So here's what we got going on with the Saints. New head coach. Of course, we know Sean Payton stepped away. Doesn't mean that he can't come back, but as of right now, he's stepping away. Dennis Allen is the new head coach of the New Orleans Saints. They drafted Chris Olave in the 2022 NFL draft in the first round. They signed receiver Jarvis Landry, who was previously with the Cleveland Browns, who's still pretty good. They signed Marcus May, one of the NFL's best safeties, and they signed Tyrann Mathieu. So I think that's a pretty darn good haul for the Nolans Saints regarding free agency. And they re-signed Jameis Winston. They still have their all-pro running back, Alvin Kamara. Yes, he is dealing with some legal issues, but people expect him to be out there on the field to play for them, which even then Mark Ingram is his backup. So, behind that Saints O-line, Mark Ingram still a power back. He can get the job done. Michael Thomas is returning from his lengthy injury as well. The defense is top 5 in fewest points allowed last season and top 10 in fewest yards allowed. I was kind of surprised when I saw this because I knew they were decent, but I didn't know that they were this good. And the defense does win championships, folks. The Cincinnati Bengals almost did it in the Super Bowl against the Rams, and vice versa with the Rams. The Rams actually won because they played really good defense, and the Bengals played good defense too, but the Rams just had more juice in the tank to get the job done. and showed up when they really had to down the line in that Super Bowl. But that Super Bowl, if you look closely, was very defensive oriented. Both teams had good defenses, and New Orleans has a top 5 defense here. And if that defense can click and stay on point throughout the season and into the playoffs, they can make some noise. They can get to this Super Bowl. And here's one other interesting thing. I did some research on this, and apparently, so the Saints have Tom Brady's number. Like, I mean, they wouldn't text him or call him or anything. They don't. I'm sure they don't like Tom Brady. But what my point is, they got the answer to Tom Brady. So they faced Tom Brady twice last season. Game 1 in October 2021, they beat him 36-27. Brady did throw 4 touchdowns, but he also threw 2 interceptions, again, where the defense comes into play. Here's where it really comes into play, though, is game 2 in December 2021. They beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 9-0. That is right. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers scored 0 points, not even a field goal. Brady threw for 214 yards, 0 touchdowns, and an interception. And I think he even fumbled the ball in that game too. He looked really bad, nowhere near top form Brady. But the point is, the Saints somehow have Brady's number, at least in recent memory. And again, as I just mentioned, this defense is top 5. And you combine that with the fact that they are able to lock down the most clutch quarterback in the league right now. I mean, this defense alone is strong enough to catapult this team into like a very high position to get to the Super Bowl. They're definitely, in my opinion, a playoff team. I don't see them missing the playoffs unless injuries really hurt them again, like last season. But if this team can stay healthy, especially Jameis is coming back from that awful injury, but he's looking for something to prove too, man. He's looking to go and prove the doubters wrong and show that he's still got something left in the tank. He's a really good teammate with the guys in the locker room, and you could tell that they love and support him and vice versa. So he's looking to prove something. New coach Dennis Allen is looking to prove himself as worthy of being the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. And you got a team with a chip on their shoulder looking to bounce back from an injury-filled last season. So with all that in mind, I mean, it's hard to deny how solid this team looks. And they made very good moves in the offseason. Jarvis Landry is still pretty solid when he's healthy. And, of course, you got Honey Badger out in the backfield now to help out. It's with Marshawn Lattimore back there, who's a beast already out in the secondary. So that's my pick, man. The New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, I mean, they got a first round wide receiver rookie from Ohio State. Can't pronounce his last name, but I'm sure you know how to say it, Mark.
Olive.
I'm just saying. It's spelled differently. It is. It's a bad joke. But it was a terrible joke. Oh my God. But no, they have multiple receivers, wide receivers. So they're kind of stacked. So yeah, they have weapons this year that should be exciting. And like I said, first round pick from Ohio State. They also got Michael Thomas. You can't go wrong with Chris, Olive, Michael Thomas, and Landry, Jarvis.
Yeah.
So they're stacked. They got weapons. They have options, unlike Detroit.
Oh, man. For those of you who don't know, like any chance Shemaiah gets to just like take a little jab at his own guys, he'll do it. But he loves the team. He is a true Detroit Lions fan, but the true fans know when to strike a little jab at their own team.
I mean, the only thing they got positive is a, TV show. That's about it.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to see that, by the way.
That's the only winning thing they have right now.
Do you think it'll be terrible? Like, how bad would it be if that?
I think the show would be great, but when they play in a real game, it's going to be like any other season.
Yeah. No, I can understand that. Oh,
and
man.
We're bound to lose to someone's field goal, too.
Oh, how many times? How many times they're going to lose by a field goal?
At least two.
At least two? Okay.
At least two.
Yeah. I mean, considering what was it, the Ravens and the Vikings, like you just said,
they
right?
took turns. Yeah.
Yikes. Jeez, man. And the Vikings were really trying to lose that game too.
That's the only team that gets excited to eat on Thanksgiving Day because they know they're going to lose the game.
Right. Well, I mean, as a Lions fan, like, wouldn't you be excited to eat and know that, okay, your team's going to be awful, so you don't have to worry about falling asleep?
The only thing that happens is a rise in ticket sales.
Oh man, jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, they should probably get tickets for how bad they play. You know.
No, they should refund tickets. It should be a free game to the Detroit Lions fans.
It should be. I'm completely on board with that because that Thanksgiving game last year was really bad.
Or they just don't pay until they actually win the game. So they win the game, then you have to pay for the ticket. If they lose the game, then you just, don't have to pay for that.
I like that. A free public event.
Yeah, unless they win. If they win, then you have to pay.
Which, I mean, there's what, like a 15% chance of them winning unless they face the Texans or the Jets?
Yeah, I mean, New Orleans Saints have so much to look forward to this season. Detroit Lions, we're going to probably have an episode dedicated to them.
Oh, we have to.
I would say the only thing that really adds a spark to Detroit Lions is, number one, they have that amazing documentary Hard Knocks thing that's going on. But number two, the coach is a very positive guy. I'll give him that. And even though that doesn't win us football games, it does help that the players like the coach. So building on that positive note, Detroit Lions may win 4 games.
Have you seen their schedule yet?
It doesn't matter. It didn't matter last year. It didn't matter the year before. All that matters is that they have some kind of pride to beat their last year's record. That's the only way the organization can move forward in a positive way. Because the fans, they joke worse than I do. I mean, my jokes are like safe compared to the fans on Twitter. They cuss. They don't cuss. All right, let me clean it up.
Yeah. Give us a deep dive into Lions Twitter.
Well, they have the funniest jokes for anybody on social media. If you want to find new memes, if you want to find new material, if you're trying to be a comedian in your stand-up comedy career, just go with Detroit Lions Twitterverse world, and you're bound to chuckle after a game. Because I'll never forget, I think I sent you this one. A guy took a video or a picture in great disappointment after the field goal, the impossible field goal. Yeah. And I just felt so sad when I saw the picture because I'm like, man, Buddy probably worked overtime just to get the tickets. Yeah. And then you go to the game and it's just like, someone told me don't get those tickets.
Yeah. He didn't listen though.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? They lose and then you still get the tickets just to burn some gas. Go home with the half tank. Got to fill up before Monday.
Right. You paid a bunch of money. You paid a lot of gas just to go see your team lose. A team that was terrible already.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, Detroit Lions has talent, and don't laugh. They do have talent. Ha, ha, ha. But
no, I'm not laughing. I agree with you.
They do have talent. It's just funny because it's almost just like they don't because they play so bad.
I like how you word that. It's like they don't.
Yeah, because it's like, geez, if you look at the colleges they come from, like these are not scrubs, man. These are really good athletes. But then when they come together, it's like a big blob. It's almost like the strategy is to just wear the jersey, you know?
Right.
But that's about it.
Do you think the jerseys like suck the talent out of the player?
Man, it's like they're in a nightmare sequel, Space Jam or something. Like it's like they should have a movie for Detroit Lions football
For the
team.
Lions?
Yeah, I will watch that movie. It'll be a comedy. It'll be hilarious. But in the movie, though, it'll basically be a plot twist and they become like the winningest team in the NFL. That would be the plot twist.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, but it'll be...
How long?
Well, people would watch the whole movie. They probably get up and leave unless they're actually a Detroit Lions fan.
Yeah.
Because everyone will be like, oh, this is a joke. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. So just asking you as a fan here, how long do you think it'll take until the Lions make the playoffs again?
I mean, it's a hard question to answer because it's really up to the players, man. They had to have that drive. No one can teach you that. Like, you can't teach someone to go to some kind of course, you know, motivational speaker, like seminar. You can't go to some kind of conference center, you know. Nah, it takes more than a lip service, man. Like, the players have to believe in what the heck they doing. Like, they already get paid good money. They don't have to live in an apartment, for crying out loud. Like, if they can have financial security, then they need to have security in themselves and each other to go get those wins. Like, at the end of the day, you just beating yourself. Like, you can't only say so much to get someone motivated. I'm not saying that they're lazy. All I'm saying is that it starts with them. They have to just be like, we're going to win. And just win. Because when you win, now you start seeing the strengths that everyone has. Mm-hmm. And then you can maximize on that. And with the areas that they're weak at, they just get better and they cover it with someone else's strengths. But like I said, lip service is cheap. It doesn't work. You know, it really doesn't work.
Yeah. Do you think a big problem with the Lions? Of course, like they've had some drafting issues. They haven't drafted as well.
Well, they haven't been winning. Who wants to play there? I mean, that's right. That's like a black eye to someone's career. Like, what? I'm drafted to the Lions.
Right. And that's a great point you mentioned, because of course, like what free agents or what big name free agents are going to want to go there. So that already sets the stage for like this failing mentality. But
like, if you're an agent, you probably get fired. Like, what? You got me, all the other teams in the NFL, and you got me with them. Are you serious?
Yeah. Like, well, okay. So you brought up something that I want to ask and like kind of build on. So you mentioned, you know, so it's one thing, like these guys are talented and they can put out work, and I'm sure they work hard in the gym and they work hard in film.
They lift weights too, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I
hope so. Yeah,
you know, these are real beasts in NFL athletes, man.
Yeah.
It's like it's a weird like cloud funk that just doesn't go away. Because you can argue, can't talk. You can argue and say that the coaching staff mean well on paper, right? Like they're qualified for the job. But when you look at the record, it's like, what is this?
And I'm glad you mentioned the coaching staff, because maybe I think that's contributing to the mentality issue, because you mentioned how, okay, so you lose a game, you lose another game. Well, you go back, look at the film and learn from your mistakes. What I see with the Lions is they don't do that. It's almost like they keep playing games, making the same mistakes, drawing penalties.
Well, here's a funny catch, man.
Yeah.
I hate to cut you off, but here's a funny catch. Coach Campbell, he has ties to Texas A&M. So it just makes it even more confusing. Because we all know that Texas is all about football. Mm-hmm. So it's like, man, I mean, his education is Texas A&M University. But my point is, He knows football. It's not like this guy is clueless. It's not like this guy doesn't know anything about football. This guy is qualified for the job. He has great speeches. But like I said, it's just lip service. It's the players who have to really, really know what system they need to have against the next team that plays against them. That's the only way they're going to get W's. When they get W's, it's because they really understand what needs to be done. Until they do that and understand what needs to be done during that game, it's just going to be another losing season.
Yeah, rinse and repeat.
Yeah. You got to do something totally different. Not have a heartfelt, inspiring, tearjerker message speech.
Yeah.
Like, those are beautiful and nice, but at the end of the day, you're going to get crushed.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if you're going to have that speech, right, and tearjerker and get emotional, but if you're going to come back next week and stink up the joint, and then you're going to do the same thing the next week, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with leadership, discipline.
It's like putting on cologne and you don't take a shower for a week.
Yeah.
Like, that cologne smells great. I know you spent a lot of money on that cologne, but please use soap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I know you have a great cologne that probably costs $400 and it smells amazing. Yes, it does. But it also stinks if you don't use soap and body wash.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it defeats the purpose. That's what speeches do. It defeats the whole purpose, man. Like, no, get some wins. I want you to, well, not hit players, but if you have to, like, slap the shoulder pads and say, wake up.
Yeah. Do you think
that's only you're going to get wins? You got to do something different. You cannot have the same speech because it is amazing, but it don't mean nothing.
Yeah. I think they're missing a reality check. You know,
that's part of what it is. They're in La La Land, putting on all this cologne, and they're not taking showers.
Do you think the speeches are actually hurting the team because they happen so often?
Well, it's only so much you can say. How many times can you say a great speech after a losing season?
Yeah, like, what else? It comes across like a pity party, right?
Like, what else can you say? Like, how can you be motivated after you just lost another season?
Yeah.
Like, and what else can you say?
Yeah, and then
come on, guys, get them.
Game. Yeah. They're losing games. And game after game, you're giving speeches, and it comes across like it's this giant, like, feel sorry for me thing, but they're not doing anything to improve their play.
It's like, y'all just doing push-ups for the whole practice.
Right.
Until you start winning. That's all we're doing. We're doing push-ups.
Yeah, they should do like extra laps, push-ups, all everything. They really should. And every time they lose, they need to add more like exercises to that.
It's like y'all need to take a pay cut every game you lose.
Ooh, now that would motivate them to play.
It'll motivate me. I'll be winning. Shoot.
Yeah, even if I suck, I'd go out there and try my best.
I'll be running in the end zone every time I touch the ball because I ain't touched my money.
Exactly.
I think they seriously need to do that. Detroit, y'all better listen.
Yeah, Baller Boys podcast, man.
Take a pay cut every losing game y'all do. Everyone takes a pay cut.
Right.
Until you play for free. Which is illegal. That would happen.
Right.
You know, you can't work for free.
I mean, they should give tickets away for free. You know, at this rate.
But you gotta have some kind of strategy, like you know, somebody has to be stuck with the dinner bill for every game they lose.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Unless, I feel bad for the player that they really don't like in the locker room. Just lose on purpose. Hey, Bill's got the check tonight.
Because this episode, it wraps up like how bad Detroit needs to like catch on fire and have a great season. Because it won't just inspire the city, but it will really just make people just really embrace the Lions like they never had before. Because people like the Lions, whether they are great or they're whack. Period, because it's a culture thing. But imagine if they start winning. Man, the value of that team will skyrocket. It'll basically look like a LA Rams team because everybody in the whole country will want to be a Lions.
Yeah, affects the entire city, the economy.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And they can do it. That's the most frustrating thing that people will probably tell you. There's great athletes on that team. There are no scrubs. So that's what makes it even more frustrating is when you see a team like that Detroit, where we don't have a superstar, but the point is we can have a Cinderella story where we make a star.
Yeah. And the stars that they have drafted, they haven't been able to build teams around them.
And that's the problem. Ask Matt how he felt when he went to LA Rams.
Yeah. I mean, you could talk to Megatron, Barry, you know. It's almost looking like it's going to happen to Hawkinson.
Just saying,
I don't want
like,
it to.
Matt should be the one doing speeches, man.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. He's on
I'll
another
hire
team.
him,
Yeah.
man.
Bring him to Detroit. Bring him to
Pay that man. Have him do a speech, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he actually got the job done. He can say some things that can make them, like, you know, listen.
In his first season with a new team.
You see what I'm saying? Like, he didn't waste time. Because, like, if he would have lost, then everybody would have thought he was washed out or washed up, how do you want to say it. But he literally did that within the season that he loved. That is big. Like, that's huge. That's like legendary. Not to say that he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame yet. I wouldn't go that far. But I would say for an individual to have that mindset, dude, that takes a lot of guts. And that's something that Lions, they need to model that culture mindset when it comes to do what it takes to win the game.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, I think we covered some good Lions talk here, man. I know it sounded like you've had that bottled up for a little bit. So I'm glad we got that out of your system, you know?
Well, that's what people do all the time when they talk about Detroit Lions. It's like a squirrel that has the food across the street in the other neighbor's grass, and they just won't cross the street. But all that food is over there. All that food is over there.
Yep.
And it's so frustrating because it's like, just cross the street, man. Just go. Stop settling for less.
Yeah, the promised land is so close.
Yeah, stop settling for less, man.
Yeah.
Look both ways and run.
Yep.
See, Detroit Lions, they don't look both ways and they get crushed.
Yeah, well, that's why they're staying still. They're just doing nothing. They're not progressing or anything. So, yeah, dead accurate, man. Well, I think we did some good NFL talk. We talked about some Super Bowl wildcard teams and a team that will go nowhere near the Super Bowl. Lions fans, stay with your squad. There will be some light in the darkness. Trust me. Stick with your fandoms, please. It's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow, but they will find the promised land someday. But until then, listen to the Baller Boys as we talk about sports, and more sports. It's your guy, Mark. You can follow me on Twitter at MarkTheMC, MarkTH, 3 3s, no E's, capital M, capital C. Shemaiah, what's your Twitter, man? How can they follow you?
Well, it ain't the Lions, but it is Shemaiah on the BT.
There you go. Follow us on Twitter. We post some funny stuff, retweet some funny stuff. We got new episodes out every week, multiple episodes. So don't think you're off the hook after just hearing one or seeing one. No, wrong. There's 2 of them. So keep your eyes peeled for both of them. And so we do this. We have a good time, man. You know, we go to work. We have deal with some hot weather. And we come home and we just chill and vent and talk sports. So we thank you all for listening in and tuning in. And tune in next time when we talk about your favorite sports, and more sports. Tell your mom, tell your grandma. Adios.